like to welcome you back. And then we have been joined by the chairman of the Pharmacists Society of Nigeria, Mr. Patrick Obi. Would like to welcome you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Chairman. Okay, and then Pharmacist Chinedu Nwankwo is official member, PSN.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
Chairman.
Okay, you want to say something?
Yes, well, you're welcome.
Thank you.
How long have you been the chairman of the World Pharmacists?
Okay, I've been the chairman of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, Anambra State Chapter. We were elected into various offices last year, precisely in June. So I've been chairman for about a year plus now.
Okay. Now that you have your activity coming up today, so can you enlighten us more on other areas that you intend to cover? We've heard that you have programs, free medical advices and information and the rest of them coming up.
Okay, yeah, right now as we are discussing, some of our members, we have technical groups in PSN. One of them, the technical interest or group is the Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria. Of course, we are talking about Anambra State. As we are speaking now, some of our members in that technical group are in Radio Sapientia. They are discussing about the same topic. Pharmacists are a medicine expert.
Okay. I know that Dr. Jackson of the PSA says that pharmacists, as the medicine experts, should have the opportunity to practice to their full scope of practice. What does that mean? Is anybody stopping you, Mr. Chinedu?
Yes, he is right. There are limitations to the practice of the profession of pharmacy in Nigeria. Let's take, for instance, the chaotic drug distribution system. It does not favor the pharmacists. There are procedures in drug procurement, and there are drugs are poisons, let's know it. And so it behoves on the expert to actually handle this drug. But go to hospitals, go to the market, you see drugs everywhere. That's a pure limitation for the pharmacists. And pharmacists are not allowed to exercise and maximize their potential. Government has a stake in this. They must leverage the pharmacists to exercise their full potential, and the healthcare team will see the benefit and the importance of the pharmacists.
Obviously, for somebody out there, they might say, is it because today is World Pharmacists Day? Is that why you're coming loudly? Have you been doing this over time, trying to reach to the grassroots, let the people really have free access to your potential?
No, it's just like today has been designated to be World Pharmacists Day. So, like what we are doing today, just official, I may use that word. Otherwise, previously, we've been doing that several...
Okay, what we are seeing on the screen now. Okay. I think this is your flyer.
Yes.
Maybe stating what and what that you have lined out for us today.
Yes.
So
yes.
go ahead.
So go ahead. You've been doing it over time.
We've been doing it over time. Advocacy in schools, in churches. Not just because of today is we are celebrating World Pharmacists Day.
Have you started this before today? The activities marking the World
Of
Pharmacists Day?
Of course, even before today. In fact, we started the program last week, Friday. Some of our members, the young pharmacist group, they were in different schools in Oka, on this issue about showcasing what pharmacists can do.
Apart from this, are there other ways the common person in the village will benefit from these services you're rendering right now?
Why not? Wow. Okay.
The common person in the village can benefit by the propagation. For instance, the television is there. They'll see what is happening. And what we intend to go, there will be deworming in secondary schools. In different secondary schools. We have protests. I think we're going to have it today. As we're talking to you now, by 10 already they must have started. There's a walkout at Oka Road on Nisha. So we are penetrating the nooks and crannies of the local governments to preach the gospel of pharmacy.
Okay. Well, let's digress a little. I know that they say that man is a political animal, but I don't think I've seen or heard most pharmacists being in active politics. Chairman, Are you bad?
Well, yes, pharmacists have been active politics.
Okay.
Even for example, in Anambra State now, we have some of our members, in the State House of Assembly.
The State House of Assembly.
Yes.
You know why I ask this? Because some of the things that we are agitating for, like having a free hand to work, is what your members that are in government, can do for you.
Yes. So even in the national level, like in the Senate, members I think we have 2 of our members in the Senate, and I think more than 2 or 3 or thereabout in the House of Representatives. So, because just like you said, you are very correct. It's not about going about preaching, talking. You have to get involved.
Okay, how soon, and how far can you sustain this? Is it after today that is?
It's a continuous.
It's
a continuous thing.
The profession is evolving.
It's a continuous thing.
I know the profession is evolving, but the very process you are engaging in this World Pharmacists Day, is it going to be continued?
We will sustain this program.
We've been doing that even before now, even before today. For example, let me give you an instance. In these Women August meetings, I remembered in my town in Oruku, the PSN, let me say PSN, or group of pharmacists, went to some of their meetings and talked to them about drugs, because it's important. There are a lot of drug abuse, misuse, and all that. People should know how to use their drugs.
The tramadol that is mentioned.
The tramadol, the codeine abuse, and all that.
I know there's a disconnect somewhere. I think it's where people cannot be able to identify a pharmacist and a patent medicine drug dealer. Can you emphasize more on that? What's the difference between these 2 people?
There's quite a lot of a big gap between them. A pharmacist is a professional. A patent medicine vendor is not a professional. A pharmacist spent almost about 6 years in the university for this course. He must have the respect. And you can differentiate it by the services you get from a pharmacy. Go to a pharmacy, you are detailed about the drug you're using, the side effects, the things you have to do not to take the drug. If you are drinking alcohol, don't take it. The pharmacist will give you detail. You can't get services like that in a patent medicine.
So that is the advocacy you are giving now, to telling people, really, if you go to a patent medicine store, better ask questions and then find out if that individual is really an expert or qualified.
Not only that, any drug you're taking, meet your pharmacist. Don't take that drug with the advice of a pharmacist.
Do you know that?
Just advise
okay.
People as well.
Yes, just like Chinedu pharmacist said, it is important that you meet the pharmacist and ask questions about your drugs, because some drugs are better taken before food or after food, or even with food. So these things are important for you to get maximum benefit of your medicines. So it is important you meet your pharmacist and inquire about the drugs.
Because I know sometimes I can't even get this from the doctors. You ask a doctor, what drug is this that you prescribe for me? Say, go and take your drug. You want to do your job and do my own. Then is it the pharmacist that will explain this to you. That's what we are taking home today. We'd like to thank you very much for coming, the chairman of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, Mr. Patrick Obi. I'd like to thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Thank you, sir.
Okay, yeah, the Anambra State chapter.
Anambra State chapter.
Before they sue you. Pharmacist Chinedu Nwankwo, ex-official member, PSN.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
You're all great men. Thank you. Those of you that joined us this morning, sure you have something to go home with. Thank you. I've been around with
thank you very much. Well, at least I've known that if I want to get a good understanding about my job as a pharmacist.
My name is Sijama. Do somebody for the news.
Thank you.